This is Gail with Gail's Southern Living. Today I am going to do an episode of Gail's Tales. So what this is I'm telling my stories. Some are funny, some are sad, some are somewhere in the middle. Today's story is on the funny side. So I am dedicating this episode to Country Mama Musings, Alicia, because she tells her stories, and I was inspired by her to start telling some of my crazy stories. And I told her, I said, my stories aren't as good as your stories. And she said, but your stories are your stories. So these are my stories. So this is one of my mom's favorite stories to tell on me. And when I was younger, it actually used to really, really embarrass me. But now it doesn't, I'm to the point now, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess it's kind of cute. But anyway, so when I was a little girl, my mom had a doctor's appointment, and she had to bring us kids with her. But I don't know. There's 4 kids in our family. I don't know how many were at home. I'm going to guess it was 2 or 3 at that point. So she had to get all of us ready and herself. So my older sister goes to my mom and says, Gail won't take off her hat. And she kept insisting. Mom was busy. She wasn't paying attention. And finally she got Mom's attention, and Mom took the hat off. And I had cut my own hair. I had a piece like this, and I had a piece like this. So it was varying lengths of hair. So I'm always thinking she should have just threw the hat back on my hair, back on my head. But, who knows how bad it looked. But anyway, so she, in a hurry, she had to cut my hair amongst all the other things she had to do that morning to get ready. She had to cut my hair, and I'm guessing that she probably cut it like this length because of what I had done. So she loves to tell that story about how I cut my own hair when I was a little girl. And obviously, I was not a good hairdresser. However, I believe I'm a better hairdresser now. I actually cut my husband's hair, and I think I do a pretty decent job. I actually try to cut right here above the ears to make sure it doesn't touch the ears. And then I try to match this side with this side and make it shorter and even, and I shave the back of the neck and stuff like that. So I think I'm a pretty decent hairdresser now. And I can actually cut people's bangs. Now, I'm not going to get on into styling hair, but your basic cut of the trim on the bottom or the bangs or the stuff like that I could do, but I can't get into making, what do they call that? Where you have the varying lengths of hair. Layers. Yeah, I can't do layers. Anyway, so there's a little bit more to the story. So I'm guessing later on that day, we came home. Nothing was noticed. I must have done a pretty good job of cleaning the mess up because Mom never mentioned that there was a mess or anything. So it might have been a week later. It might have been 2 weeks later. But somehow they discovered my baby doll. And her name was Shelly. I remember her. And I had cut Shelly's hair too. And I realized what I had done, and I was trying to hide the evidence. And so I put Shelly in the hot water heater closet. And so my parents found her somehow. I don't know how much of a length of time it was. But they found Shelly, and there was a little burn spot on her head where she had been laying up on the hot water heater. And I had cut her hair in the most terrible fashion ever. However, once my parents found her, I did play with her again, even though she had several flaws. I did continue to play with her again. And so it was like a double tragedy. I cut my hair and I cut my doll's hair and obviously tried to burn down the whole house with my hiding of the evidence. So that is amongst the weird things that I have done as a child. And I wasn't planning on telling this story, but I'm going to go ahead and tell this story just because it kind of goes along with crazy stuff I've done. So I used to go over to my grandparents' house. This was my dad's parents. And we called them Granny and Pawpaw is what we called them. And so my mom and dad are there. We're all there. And we're in their house. And my dad says he's going to go to the store. And he says he's going to buy candy for everybody. And he wants to know if anybody wants to go with him. Well, I was a kid. And I wanted to go. And I wanted to pick out my own candy. Because it's awesome to be able to pick out your own candy, right? So I took off running to the front door when I heard him say that. And I ran straight through a glass door. And I didn't even cry until I hit the other side and people started to pay attention to it. I started to cry, just like all kids do. So yes, I ran through a glass door. I have several memories of my grandparents. Another one is we were playing hide and go seek in the front yard. I don't know if somebody else was over, like friends or something, but we were at my grandparents' house. And that's when I discovered I was allergic to cedar trees because I had been hiding behind the tree and touching it. And so, yes, I am actually quite allergic to cedar trees. Like, I can literally feel it on my skin when there's a cedar tree around. It's that severe. Also have another memory. I was coming back from church camp one year, and we would sit down in the grass and have our Bible lessons. And I got the most awful chigger bites, literally everywhere, all over my body. Me and this one girl were the worst. There were chigger bites everywhere. But that didn't really have anything to do with my grandparents, but except for we went over there to visit or maybe to stay with her after that. Maybe like, you know, in the summer you go and stay with your family, your grandparents and stuff. So I think we went over there to stay with them. And I remember, you know, I was treating all these, you know, these crazy trigger bites and stuff. So that's another memory I had of some things that happened to me when I was younger. Of course, the trigger bite when I was a teenager. The hide and go seek, I don't know how old I was, 9 or 10. And the hair cutting, I want to say 3 to 5 years old, but I don't have an exact memory of that. But there's a few of my stories from my childhood, from my grandparents' house, from me cutting my hair. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Gail's Tales. Have a great day, guys. Be blessed. Do something kind, guys. Bye.